On the board here, we have the Latin endings for the present passive indicative. Present passive is when you're in the present tense, but the subject of the verb is having something done to it. For example, I am loved, that's passive. Active would be I love. Passive would be you are loved. Active, you love. Or he, she, or it is taught, that's passive. She teaches is active. We can easily memorize the endings of the present passive indicative with this little kind of beat. Oristor, more mini untor. I'll do it again. Oristor, more mini untor. Oristor, more mini untor. Oristor, more mini untor. Oristor, more mini untor. See, it's really catchy, right? Bet you love it. You're probably wondering, hey, these things in parentheses aren't featuring in the ditty. Well, yeah, that's true. This is an alternative R to OR. Sometimes you could have just R. Or, more importantly, for ris, you have the alternative RE that can just be used instead of ris, and it's completely normal. It means the same exact thing. Okay, now we have the endings. We have to add them to our verbs. Let's pick the verb amare because that's in the first conjugation. Docere in the second conjugation. Third conjugation, ducere. And fourth conjugation, audire. Okay. Amor. I am loved. Amoris, you are loved. Wait. Amaris. We use the stem. Amator, he, she, or it is loved. Amamor, we are loved. Amamini, y'all are loved. Amantor, they are loved. Okay, great. How is the second conjugation different? The second conjugation is the same, except this strong E here stays in the first person singular. So the first person singular, I am taught, would be dokeor, like this. You'd keep the E. Whereas in the other verbs, in the other conjugations, the O subsumes the vowel. So it's just amor, I am loved. It's not amaor. Same thing for ducor would be I am led, not duceor. But for the second conjugation, we have that strong E here and it stays in the first person singular. That's important to know. We're not going to conjugate the second conjugation all the way through because it's really easy. It's just dokeor, dokeoris, doketor. We just keep that strong E all the way through. But we do need to do an example from the third conjugation because, as you know, the third conjugation is like the troublemaker conjugation, is always a problem. So let's look at it for a second. The first person singular is ducor. I am led. Okay, that's easy enough. The second person singular is duceris or ducere, which looks really normal, except if you remember in the active, it would be ducis with an I. That E wouldn't be there. That E would change to an I. Oh my goodness. Normally the third conjugation doesn't keep its E, but in the second person singular passive it does, for linguistic reasons that have to do with the fact that this ending just makes the E want to be there. But then we actually go back to the endings or the stem that we would expect for a third conjugation. So third person singular is ducator, and we get that I that we see in the third conjugation active. And that I is going to stay for these two. But then in the third person singular, you get a U, and that's the same as the active. It would be ducunt if it was active, and it's ducuntor in the passive. So here is a paradigm for third conjugation verbs in the present passive. And is there anything special about the fourth conjugation? Well, yeah, just like in the third person plural active, present active, it would be audiunt in this third person plural. It's going to be audiuntor. So you have that I staying there. And same thing in the first person singular, audior. But the rest of them are regular as you would expect. And that concludes the present passive indicative.